Hi guys, so I felt like doing a video just talking about the games that I've been playing lately because what better reasons to check in and say hello and talk about some games than that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There's quite a lot here because I've kind of have this tendency to kind of dip into games and play a little bit of them and then not bother finishing them, and that's a habit that I'm trying to get out of, but as is apparent from the amount of games here, not succeeding too well on that front lately. But yeah, I'm going to go by platforms. So first of all, on the GameCube, this is over the last couple of months really, I was playing a lot of Super Mario Sunshine and really enjoying this game. Love the mechanic of the water pistol thing and all that business, and the spraying graffiti off and all that stuff. Great game, lots of fun. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to get the disc cleaned, polished, because it stopped working after a certain time. But really cool game. Don't really know why this one gets kind of downrated compared to the other Mario games. I think it's a solid platformer and a lot of fun and innovative as well, adding that extra element to it that just gives it something unique, and really cool game. The other game on the GameCube that I've been playing lately was Wind Waker. Now, I kind of stopped playing this after I got to the island after the Deku Tree. I was enjoying it, I was definitely enjoying it. I don't know why I stopped. I think I got distracted by other games, but certainly what I'm going to go back to. But solid Zelda action, what can you say about it? I mean, I do like the art style of it, you know, the different art style of it. And the sailing on the waves thing doesn't get boring for me, although I did get lost a couple of times, so that kind of put me off to start with. I wasn't too good at navigating around the seas, and I would go in one direction for a really long way and then be in the wrong area and take a long time to get back, which was a little bit annoying, but I've got the hang of it now. I think it's a really fun game. I'm really enjoying that one. When I go back to it, I'm sure I'll continue to enjoy it. Anyway, right, next on the original Xbox, on the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy pack, I was playing San Andreas, because that's the only one that I haven't finished out of the modern Grand Theft Auto games. The 3D ones, more to say. So yeah, the San Andreas, really cool. What can you say about it? I love the freeform aspect. Yeah, it reminds you that time when sandbox games were amazing. Just the fact that you can go anywhere at your own pace, and that's what I love about those types of games, is at your own pace, do what you want, find these little adventures, go off and explore, and little missions here and there to keep it ticking over, kind of thing. The story progressing in these little bite-sized chunks, but then in between able to go and explore, and I love that aspect of these sandbox games. So San Andreas, really cool, loving that. Right, also on the original Xbox, Bruce Lee, Quest of the Dragon, been playing that a little bit, only the first couple of levels. Now, really decent brawler, beat 'em up. I don't think I've quite got the hang of the controls yet. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but yeah, fairly decent beat 'em up. A little bit repetitive. It's not something that I think's going to hold my. I'll be surprised if it holds my attention throughout the entire game, to be honest. Although it is a good game, it really takes something special for me to play a beat 'em up through to completion, and that will be something like Streets of Rage. And I know something about that game I can play through and not get bored at all, even though it is obviously just as repetitive as any other brawler. Maybe it's the music, maybe it's the style, the coolness of it, I don't know what it is, but Streets of Rage I can. This game, it is good, it is a good game. I'm not going to slate it. Yeah, it's a pretty decent brawler. It's just generally not my genre of choice really. Also on the original Xbox, Outrun 2, been playing this. Now the joy of sliding, what do you call that? Not gliding, drifting. The joy of drifting. Oh, I'd forgotten how fun that is. I mean, I had done a little bit of drifting fun on Sega Rally on the Xbox 360, but this one is where it's at. Outrun 2 is just drift-a-rama. Yeah, and I love the challenges as well that goes with it, like the collecting the hearts, impressing your girlfriend in the car, the overtaking, the kind of that really keeps it interesting, that you have these different types of game mode, different challenges to do. Really highly recommend this as a racer. If you're at all interested in races and you haven't got it and you've got an Xbox, you need it. It's really fun, really cool game. And Sega just have that ability to just make these really fresh feeling games, just like fresh is the best word I can think of to describe it at this moment in time. Yeah, it's just got that Sega zing about it. Yeah, let's go with zing. That'll do. Right. Now then, also on the original Xbox, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. This is a really cool game. Obviously, wicked stylings. It's got a slight music rhythm action element to it. Well, there's certain small parts of the game that have rhythm action element to it, but the boss fights are really fun, really cool, and it's somehow manages to have these musical elements to the game that are really quite effective and really quite engaging. Yeah, it's kind of a beat 'em up, I guess, platform beat 'em up kind of thing, but interspersed with these interesting little boss fights. And I've not played too much of it yet, but I did enjoy what I have played so far. Yeah, if you can find this, I'd certainly recommend picking this up. It seems like quite a fun and unique looking game. Now then, also on the original Xbox, talking about unique games, this is a unique game, right? It's Neighbours from Hell. Now you can pick this up for fairly cheap. It's not an expensive game, and this is a really interesting game. I didn't know anything about it when I bought it. I bought it because of the cover. I thought it looked interesting, and it is interesting. It's like a puzzle game. Now then, I'm not sure if the screenshots will show you anything useful. Oh, come on, focus, focus. It's right there! No, it's not doing it. I got the curse of the grub guns. I got a case of the grub guns on me. Yeah, anyway. What you're basically doing is you navigate your little fella around a house, and it's kind of in a 2D plane. Your characters are kind of claymation models, though, animated claymation models, and you have this little guy, and you have to go around a house and manipulate objects in the house to set traps. So you set traps to snare whoever it is that you're trying to trap in this house, and you have to use your brain sometimes to the combination of items and locations and what you need to do in order to trap the people, and you also have to track their movements around the house to get them at the right time in the right order sometimes. But yeah, really individual, really unique game, so I definitely recommend picking that up if you're like looking for something a bit more quirky. Neighbours from Hell, that's a really cool little game. Right, now we're on to the 360. Now these three games, they're always going to be my most played lists, but I'm going to list them anyway because I think I've got something slightly interesting to say about them. Right, the first one is Pro Evolution 13. By the way, this is Random Access Memories again. Still on constant repeat. Yeah, Pro Evolution 13, I definitely think that this is finally the year that Pro Evo came back and beat FIFA. It's took the crown for me in terms of playability. The controls take a little bit of getting used to because, of course, if you've been used to FIFA, it's slightly different, but there are some new elements to the control methods. But once you get that down, the playability, the gameplay on this game definitely, for the first time in quite a while, beats FIFA, in my eyes at least. Obviously, it's a shame it hasn't got licenses, but I can look the other way on that. Really, don't really care as long as the game is fun to play, and if it can get you into that Zen mode that all the best games can get you into, where you're playing and you just feel like you're connected with the game, and you have this kind of Zen sort of, probably not the best way to describe it, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where you just have this connection to the game and it just feels like everything's clicking into place, and you have this smooth, just when you feel like you're mastering it kind of thing. Do you know what I'm getting at? Maybe you do. I'm pretty sure you do. Anyway, really good game, really enjoy that. Unfortunately, my friends who play football games both have the FIFAs, and I have no one to play online with, so if anybody wants a game of Pro Evolution Soccer 13 on Xbox Live, let me know and we'll do that. Right, another game that is always going to be in my most played lists, well, one of the series at least will always be in it, and at this point it is Rock Band 2. Now this is the last one in the series that I've rebought, so I've got this fairly recently, been playing through it again, and yeah, it's Rock Band, it's fun, it's great. What can I say about it that hasn't been said? Again, it's another one for that Zen feeling in gaming, where when you're doing really well, it just clicks into place and it's just sublime. The track listing on the game is not that great, I don't think. It's not amazing track listing to my taste, at least. They've got to spread the net wide, I guess, to cater for everybody. But I did fairly recently download some extra tracks to play with it, and I actually downloaded 2 Green Day albums, and it was a kind of an impulse buy. They kind of charge ridiculous amounts for those downloads of those songs. I mean, these 2 Green Day albums to play on Rock Band cost me more than it would to buy the actual real albums if I went and bought the CDs. That is insane. Downloadable content should not be that expensive. Now I got this because I just, like I said, impulse buy. Really love Green Day, really love rock bands, so I just wanted to play those tracks on there. But if you're buying downloadable tracks that the only thing you can do with them is to play it on here, you know, you can't use them as audio tracks and whatever, they shouldn't cost more than the actual albums if you were to buy the actual CDs or vinyls. That's just insane. DLC prices need to come down. It's really taking a piss. Especially to the point where, you know, if you're not online, this is the thing with one of the things that annoys me about DLC is that if you're not online, you can't use that content. So there's been times where, yeah, my internet connection has dropped and I can't use the tracks that I've downloaded on Rock Band, and I hate that about DLC, I really do. So I'll probably, you know, but anyway, so with that taken into account, with those restrictions and besides others, it really shouldn't cost that much for DLC, but I bought it, so I'm not helping the situation, I guess, but really fun game. Right, the last game that will always be my most played list, I imagine, for quite a long time is Halo 4. I've been playing a shit ton of the multiplayer on this, and been appreciating it on new levels, so it's weird. Like, I'm not a violent person at all, I'm not a fan of, you know, I don't support the troops, I'm not a big fan of war. I'm against all kinds of that stuff, but there's something about the positional, tactical awareness, point, shoot, hide, location, seek and destroy kind of thing. It's so engaging on this game especially. I can't get with the Call of Duties, the Black Ops. I'm just not good enough. You have a slight buffer zone on these games. You have obviously the rechargeable shield and the armor abilities that make it fun, and the vehicles are all really varied and fun as well. And what can you say about Halo that hasn't been said already? Fucking awesome, absolutely love this game. The online is amazing. I'm on level 88, I think currently. I'm on Spartan 88. And if you've been playing it yourself, you'll know that what I did quite early on is I chose to use the fast track mod, so that I get more experience points every match. So I'm just keeping that on the whole time until I've got all the mods. Bit quicker. Anyway, Halo 4. Right. Been playing also a little bit of Street Fighter vs Tekken. Awesome graphics, really gorgeous looking game. Fun beat 'em up, what can I say? Really, you know, it's not the genre that I always go for, but I have been enjoying this one. Cool game. Not much to say about it though. Don King Prize Fighter. Now this is a really cool fighter. Now these games I don't usually get into because you have to learn lots of long lists of different types of moves, and I never bother to learn them. But with a well executed boxing game at least, it just feels more natural. The control methods, like you've got two sticks, the way that the fighter moves, the position of the punches, the blocking, it just seems more natural, more fluid, more instinctive. So I really love the control method, that makes it for me. Yeah, I love the dodging and weaving and the different positional shots. Really, really cool game, really fun action. Right, last game on 360 I've been playing is Dishonored. Now, I think I'm on the second to last level. I absolutely adored this game. You know, the stealth, I love that, the different ways you can go through the levels, the variety of how to approach levels, the characters, the graphics, it's just fucking amazing. If you haven't played this already, you really need to. It's absolutely cracking game. Yeah, love the style of it. What can I say? Yeah, the variety, the stealth, all that. Brilliant game. Now, the last game that I want to show is the first game that I've been playing on this console since I bought it about a month and a bit ago, I think, and I finally got around to playing something on that system, and it is Uncharted 2. Yeah, I couldn't wait. I was going to wait until I got Uncharted 1. I couldn't wait. It's been sitting on the shelf looking at me. I started playing this. It's fucking brilliant. Now, it's a great game. It's exciting. It's gorgeous. It's one of the few games on that I've seen at least so far. I haven't seen that many, but it's one of the few games I've seen on PS3 that makes you think, yeah, the PS3 probably is a little bit more powerful than the Xbox in terms of graphics, because I can't quite see the Xbox 360 being able to pull off the graphics on this game, although it did a great job on games like LA Noire, Dishonored, and he's got a lot of really good looking games, but there's just something about it. I don't quite think the Xbox could pull off the look of this game. It looks beautiful. It just looks utterly beautiful game. Everyone who's played it knows, but the mechanics of moving around, it's just so fluid, the motion, and the interaction with the scenery is so perfect the vast majority of the time. You know, it's just so well constructed, the way that you move around, and the control of the character and interaction with the scenery. It's just absolutely brilliant, so compelling, that platforming action. But one thing, how many times can a crumbling ledge be exciting? There's so many crumbling ledges. It's like every single time he steps onto something, it crumbles after he fucking jumps off it. Now, I know you're trying to raise the tension, but it kind of loses its ability to excite after the 57th time that happens. Just saying, Naughty Dog. So I don't know what number 3's like or number 1's like, but anyway. Yeah, great storyline. And I tell you what, that English girl, I didn't trust her. I knew she was no good. That English bird. Chloe, I knew she was no good. Slight spoiler here, I guess. But this is an old game now. Most people who want to play it probably played already. But yeah, I knew she was no good. Not from the fact that she had dark hair and she was English, because English are usually the baddies in films, aren't they? And games and that. It's either English or Germans or Russians. But yeah, I knew she was no good. She turned out to be, she redeemed herself in the end, I guess, a little, but and then he went off with his original first girlfriend, but that aside, loved it. The action in it, the shooting's really great, effective, it's just fucking brilliant. I can see myself playing through this a second time, and I don't usually do that with adventure games, but yeah, amazing set pieces, great variety in the levels, great variety in the action. Great puzzle element to the platforming a lot of the time. Fucking brilliant. And if tell you what, if the new Tomb Raider is apparently taking cues from this, then I will definitely be getting that, because this is brilliant. Really love this game. So that's it, guys. That's my what I've been playing in the last couple of months type video. And again, just an excuse to talk about video games and that. So let us know what you've been playing recently and what you thought about them. Recommendations, give me recommendations. Overall, give me recommendations for PS3 games, because I know nothing about that system. So hidden gems, let me know what I should be looking out for, because I've kind of decided I am not going to be going with the PS4 or the Xbox One. That means I've got a lot of time ahead of me to catch up on the games from this generation and previous generations that I've not yet played. So that's good. I kind of feel released from that burden, actually, of not having to worry about the next generation. I really do. Having said that, if the Wii U picks up some steam, I might jump on board with that. So, but yeah. Alright, that's it, guys. See you next vid.